Hi, Lee. So welcome to our podcast series, Salesforce Success at Mason Frank International. Lee, would you like to introduce yourself to the audience?
Yeah, absolutely. So Lee Goodenough, I'm the Managing Director for Vass in the UK and Ireland.
Brilliant. Well, welcome, Lee. And I suppose first question for you today, what are the Salesforce skill gaps going to be in 2023?
I think it's an ever evolving question, isn't it? Where the ecosystem's getting wider and kind of deeper in the marketplace. A lot more technologies that are coming out as part of the kind of Salesforce package and portfolio. I think for me, I still kind of go with industry specialization. As you know, with kind of Vass, we primarily focus on financial services, and so I think for us, what we're looking for is more industry, specializations. And I think, more and more partners are going down that route. So it's not only just understanding more about the technology, it's understanding which industries it's going to work in and understanding those key business processes that are affecting that industry in 2023.
And I know that we're very similar from a kind of, I suppose, targeting our client set. We're very linked to kind of key verticals. And so therefore, we probably work quite similarly to how Salesforce would split their kind of target clients up.
Yeah, indeed. And there's a lot of regulation in certain verticals, right? That you've got to be very aware of how that's going to impact that business. So that's really going to define how you build those tools. So you want people to, if they don't have that experience right now, can you train them? Will they embrace those industry knowledge as well? And how we can get people kind of moving in that space, which is exactly what you're looking for. And it's exactly what we're looking for as well.
No, definitely. I totally sing off the same song sheet. And so how are Vass actually, UK and Ireland, attracting and retaining top talent? I suppose the attraction piece and then, retention piece.
Yeah, I think so. I've worked in professional services for a while. And I think when you kind of run an organization, you want to run it with your sort of ethos of basically, why am I working here? Why am I working for Vass? And why would I stay working at Vass? That's critical from a selfish perspective, that you try and put people in your shoes. And I think we are looking to get the kind of the best talent that's also passionate about what we do as well. So, and I think financial services, which is a vertical we look at more closely than others, is a really keen area. It's going through a huge transformation process. So I think what we can do with being in a growing consultancy, as well as having an industry specialization, we can kind of offer more opportunity, not just in terms of growth, but also to learn, to work with similar minded people and to work in kind of innovative areas, that are on, that are going through kind of huge transformational phases. I think the financial services is almost like the tech companies now. And I think, we like to work with kind of the best and greatest and work on how we're going to transform their business. So I think offering that as an opportunity is a key part, as well as all the benefits, things like flexible working, a great office environment, opportunities to learn, and giving kind of tools to learn as well as part of those key benefits. But, we've got a great young crowd here. We've got a fantastic kind of culture that's this kind of Anglo-Spanish feel, as well, where we're headquartered in Spain. And so we try and bring that kind of vibe as well here. So, we're bringing a lot of people on board, and most people just listening to what people say is it's all about the culture, and I think post-pandemic, I think people are looking for that. They're looking for something that's, it's going to scratch that itch. That's not just money and career progression. It's about, actually, I'm spending a lot of time here. Am I going to enjoy it? Right. And I think that's what people are looking for as well. And I
always think people are looking for kind of an extension to their family and friends now. It's very much they want to feel included, but on this kind of common goal journey, don't they?
Yeah. I think people are looking to be part of something, right? They kind of want to look back on it and go, did I make an impact? And I think that's what the pandemic, I think, has put a lot of things into perspective for people. And did I have an impact here? Was I part of something? And people looking for different things as part of that, but it's a journey, right? Mm-hmm. I think it's not an end game as part of that.
And what sort of work-life balance do you actually offer at Vass?
Well, like anyone, flexible working, right? I think we're all consultants at the end of the day. We've all worked in that space, so if people need to take time off, to take time off. The people, we want to make sure that the work gets done at the end of the day. But I think for most people, they work out of the office, 2-3 days a week. I would say we're in a fantastic office just out of Paddington Basin. Actually, it's a lovely sort of redevelopment area, and it's a great kind of office working environment. So it kind of offers a kind of a huge amount of flexibility. We offer a lot more benefits around being active, and we do things like obviously our lunch and learns. We do company nights out. We do things like sports days as well, which has been
promoting
a lot
health,
of fun actually. Yeah. So just and we've obviously got our kind of charitable initiatives as well, and that's all part of that brings the culture together.
Yeah, no, definitely. And what sort of charitable initiatives do you have actually, out of interest?
Our local one we did with the team here. So we did the boat race on the canal, and everyone dressed as pirates. It was fantastic. That. So against all the other local companies, we got like Marks and Spencer's in here, or TikTok. There's all sorts. So we're all fighting against those guys, but it was a huge success. And obviously we do our local ones here as well.
Amazing. And so the benefits of embracing the Salesforce ecosystem, there's so many people that are happy to kind of give to this ecosystem, which is absolutely fantastic from a support perspective. But tell me how kind of Vass fits into that, and the sort of opportunities, etc.
So I think we're always trying to find people at all levels of the organisation, and so that's about kind of bringing graduates through, people that obviously have not been in the ecosystem long, to people at the top of their game as well. To provide that kind of experience, mentoring. There's different levels. But I think I've been in the ecosystem for a while, and I kind of look at it as it's given me a great opportunity to kind of work in this space as well, which is something you're always trying to get back to. But I think out of all the kind of, if you look at other software vendors in these different spaces, you've got these clear levels or different paths and everything that are quite easily defined for you, and multiple ways to learn in that space. And I think if you think about it, Salesforce kind of gives you that technical guide as well. What I like to think Vass kind of gives you is that kind of industry guide as well, that you can kind of put those two together, and it just kind of give you a little bit more, sense of being a little bit more complete. Does that make sense?
Yeah, no, that totally makes sense. I've found it really interesting just embracing Salesforce in general, etc. So even like the basic kind of trailheads, it gets your head around it, doesn't it? And gets you kind of knowledgeable. Yeah. Even within, our division, everyone is kind of explorer level trailheads, just so that we've got that basic understanding. So I get it. And do you have any kind of other additional tips that you think, that would be really useful for the audience to know with regards to kind of hiring, retention, the market in general this year?
I think, tips, I think communication is kind of key, and I think for all people either trying to get into the ecosystem or people who are hiring, you kind of got to remember your consultants first, right? And that's, consultants are often built around their ability to kind of communicate and digest business problems and translate them into kind of solutions, outcomes, etc. So I think for, sometimes that talent doesn't come from kind of a gazillion certs, right? Let's put it that way. Sometimes it's about personality. It's about how they're effectively communicating to you. And that, if you think about it that way, that allows you to tackle a bigger sort of marketplace, and not just focusing on kind of those key certifications and technology expertise, but the ability to kind of actually look at people in general, and understand what different attributes they can bring to your team. And that's what I would look for, because talent is short, right? There's no doubt about it. So you've got to go far and wider. And the best way you can do that is by looking at their communication skills and their personality.
Yeah, no, absolutely. And are there any other kind of events, etc., that you would recommend people attending? I know we do internal events here at FRG, so we've got kind of webinars coming up in kind of ED&I and sustainability, etc. But it'd be great to highlight a couple of events where people should be being present.
Yeah, I think I would. Obviously, you've got the usual kind of the Salesforce lives and the kickoffs and everything else. You've got your admin groups as well, where you can meet sort of like-minded people. We're planning one as well, which is around kind of women in tech and financial services, which is coming up next month. And Rosie's organising that, so we'll see a lot more information as well around that. But like I say, don't be scared to step out the Salesforce ecosystem and go visit some industry kind of knowledge events. You'll start to join the dots between your technology practice and how you're learning about how the industry and the ecosystem is working as well. And that's the kind of that cross pollination is where people need to go next.
Fabulous. It's all about embracing change as well, isn't it? And evolving. So brilliant. All right. Well, thank you very much for your time today, Lee. Really, really useful insights, etc. And look forward to catching up with you soon. Cheers.
Brilliant. Thanks so much.